Okay. 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 That works. That works very, very well, doesn't it? Okay. Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Sydney Winston. And today, I have a question. I have a question directly to Todd Malicoate. Todd, why? Why did you give $500 cash to Von Helton in his hand? There's just too much wrong and too many questions that stem from this transaction, and especially this video that I'm going to play. It's only a few minutes. I was thinking of playing it and sort of stopping it whenever there's one of those hot button issues to talk about, but I think I'll play it through first, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, let's do it. Todd trying to justify donating $500 to pedophile Von Helton.
$500 you gave Vaughn offset the interest you made on the liens. I lost money on the liens, Hermit. So no, definitely didn't offset. I lost money on that deal. It was never the point. Also wondering why I gave Vaughn $500. I wanted to. Number one, I want a conclusion to the Arizona arc. I actually want him to get to Arizona, and because I'm curious about what's going to happen. Number two, when I backed up behind him and I saw him in his car sitting there, it suddenly struck me that this guy is going to die. If he doesn't, because he's not going to get food stamps here in about 3 days, 4 days, whatever it is. And he's not getting anybody giving him any money. And I don't want the guy to sit there and die in the parking lot. So I gave him some money for food and plenty of money to get in his gas tank. He's got no excuse now. He can just drive to Arizona and we'll all see what happens. Von's whole world now is those four walls of that vehicle. Yeah, think about everything he's lost. Yeah, I did. I had a lot of time to sit there and think about it. Had a lot of time to sit there and think about it. Yeah, Von's whole world is that 2012 Ford Escape. And that poor dog. I keep saying it over and over, but that's the abuse, is that dog is crammed into that back seat area and not able to freely run about. Red Feather says, you'll take 500, my pocket's burning. It's not that my pocket was burning. It's just that, $500 is not a big deal to me. That doesn't mean I can give $500 to everybody. I loathe that argument. Just like people have been putting comments on my videos. You could have given that money to homeless veterans, or you could have given that money to a women's shelter, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, how do you know I didn't? How do you know I don't? How do you know how much money I give a year to charity? To the VFW, to John 316 Mission here locally, to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. How do you know how much I give to them a year? You don't. So shut up. To those people, I mean. Complaining and nagging about, well, why wouldn't you should be giving money to worthy causes, not Vaughn. I can do both. Don't listen to the dummies, yeah. Hermit says Vaughn thinks his kids will be running looking for him when they become adults. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We already know that. I will take you back, and I don't know if it's still on the internet, but I think it was a video of Vaughn's one of his last visits with the kids. And the look on the face of the oldest daughter when he was in there was just a look of loathing. I think she hates that man. Just my opinion. That's what I got from watching it. Oh, wow. Look how dark it got all of a sudden. Hopefully Vaughn's kids will see how insane he is and stay. Well, they experienced it firsthand, so they experienced it firsthand. And I'm sure they've had plenty of therapy to deal with what happened in that house, in that trailer. But, not my place to comment on, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to have anything to do with him. That's going to be my answer. Never really followed Vaughn until the homeless art. Random Life's here. They will live better life than that turd. Yes, sir. You've seen past clips, yeah. There's one particularly, he went to visit the kids, supervised, and I'm telling you, If you looked into the eyes of that little girl, the oldest daughter, she hated that man. On that particular day, it was easy to see. You don't have to be a therapist or a psychologist to see the hatred in those eyes that particular day.
Okay, so there you go. The very first sentence he spoke, I had a question. So let's just start from the beginning. Firstly, welcome everybody. Hello, Andrea. And that's Andrea from Australia. Hello, everybody else. Good to see you all. Put your comments in the live chat there if you don't need an answer from me. Just put them down there. So the first thing, let's start.
500 you gave Vaughn offset the interest you made on the liens. I lost money on the liens, Hermit.
Okay, I lost money on the liens. Now, for those who are following the saga of the liens, I think I was, and my recollection is that I don't know the details, but I know that Todd Malicoate drove all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma to wherever, Oneida, Manchester, Kentucky. Now, I have no idea how long that is, but I'm sure it's more than a day's drive, or it's a sleepover. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it's a long way to go. So he drives all this way to buy tax liens. And then he says and then Von Helton blames Todd Malicoate for buying the tax liens because that led to Von Helton losing his land, his state, his family, his, the story, the whole everything. So what is the point of Todd Malicoate driving all the way to buy these tax liens and then driving all the way back home and then to say on camera, I lost money on the tax liens, so it's got nothing to do with the tax liens. It's got everything to do with the tax liens. Like, what is the logic behind driving all this way to spend money to lose money? Okay, that's something I don't get. I don't see anybody saying anything different. So he gives him 5. Okay, so before I carry on, as it's going to seem to imply to me, is that he drove from Tulsa, Oklahoma, to wherever Vaughn was. I have no idea how he knew, but he drove from wherever he was from Tulsa, Oklahoma to wherever Vaughn was. He pulled up behind him. He walked up to him. He says, "You know who I am," and he gave and Todd gave Von Helton $500, and Todd's left. I don't know if they had a conversation or whatever, but we can make one up. Here you go, Von. I'm really not that bad of a guy. This is to see you through the hard times that are coming. Something like that. And bye. And he gets back into his car and he whizzes off back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. But he lost money on the tax liens, and now he's losing more money by giving it $500 to Von Helton. Okay?
So no, definitely didn't opt that. I lost money on that deal.
Yeah, you lost money on the tax liens. That in itself is a huge question. It's a whole discussion.
It was never the point.
It was never the point of what? It's what started it all.
Also wondering why I gave Vaughn 500. I wanted to.
I just wanted to. Vaughn's a pedophile. Vaughn's an animal abuser. Vaughn's a woman abuser. Vaughn uses everybody he comes across. He steps on people to get to where he wants to go. He has no compassion for any other human being or any other living being. I can't feel sorry for him. I'm going to give him $500. It does not sit right in what I call my rational mind. Hopefully, it comes across as such, but sometimes I just wonder the way the world is. Sometimes I just. So, let's. Oops. I did a boo boo. No, it's okay. Windows 11. So let's see.
Number one, I want a conclusion to the Arizona arc.
Okay, what the fuck does that even mean? I want a conclusion to the Arizona arc. Your $500, Todd Malicoate, does not lead to a conclusion of the Arizona arc. In fact, I think that your $500, and I will go into more detail later as you talk, but I think your $500 has made things a lot worse and a lot quicker. But I'll get there.
I actually want him to get to Arizona, and because I'm curious about what's going to happen.
All right. So now he's in Arizona. All right. He's got your $500. He's got no food stamps, and he's in the high desert with a dog in his car. It's the only place they've got to live. And you thought that, well, just listen to him. Listen to Todd.
Number two, when I backed up behind him and I saw him in his car sitting there, it suddenly struck me that this guy is going to die.
This guy is going to die sitting in his car in Arizona or wherever he was. Not in Arizona, wherever. Maybe he was in Oklahoma. Let's assume it was in Oklahoma. So he's in Oklahoma, and Todd Malicoate, obviously he's God Todd Malicoate, because he now knows, because he's the death. He knows all about death, does Todd Malicoate. And he knows that Von Helton is going to die in that car, sitting there, where he is, in Oklahoma. He knows it. Bullshit. That is such bullshit, Todd. You know that he's going to die in his car, sitting there. Nonsense. Because he certainly wasn't going to die that night, and he certainly wasn't going to die that week. You know very well that the police already had their eyes on him. They knew he was there. If the worst came to the worst and the weather got cold, the police were there. They would be checking up on him. He wouldn't be dying. So that story's bullshit, Todd Malicoate. You thought he was going to die right there. Who are you? I mean, you just sent him into the high desert. He's not going to die there. Or just that you can't back up there. You can't back up behind his car and say, oh my God, he's in the high desert. He's going to die. Here, I have another $500. You can't do that, so you don't care. So your story's bullshit.
If he doesn't, because he's not going to get food stamps here in about 3 days.
Okay, well, he hasn't been getting food stamps since yesterday, and he made a video saying he got 50 cents on his food stamp bill. Food stamp card, whatever they have there.
4 days, whatever it is. And he's not getting anybody giving him any money. And I don't want the guy to sit there and die in the parking lot, so.
Okay, so you don't want him to sit there and die in the parking lot. Now he's in Arizona, in the high desert, as he claims. High desert, hot, hot, hot. No trees, no lush rainforest of green lushness around, just in the high desert of Arizona. And you don't want him to die in the parking lot. And now he's in Arizona, and he's got no food stamps. And the $500 that you gave him will run out probably very quickly, if not, he hasn't run out already, the way he loses money. Loses money. So now he's stuck in the high desert. He's got no food stamps, and he's got no way for Todd Malicoate to back up his car and run over to his driver's side and slip him $500. Who's going to do that now, Todd? No one's donating. You said so yourself. No one's donating, so you might as well give him $500. That's what you said. Well, now, no one's donating. He's in the high desert, and you can't give him $500 cash. Because $500 is nothing, folks.
I gave him some money for food and plenty of money to get in his gas tank. He's got no excuse now. He can just drive to Arizona, and we'll all see what happens. Vaughn's whole world now is those four walls of that vehicle. Yeah, think about everything he's lost.
Listen to this.
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of time to sit there and think about it.
A lot of times sit there and think about everything that Von Helton's lost. Why do you even waste five seconds thinking about what Von Helton has lost? Von Helton didn't lose it. Todd, I don't know, why haven't you been following the story of Von Helton for the last 15 years online? Why not? Because you would have been up to speed. Von Helton didn't lose everything. He was incompetent. He's a narcissist braggart with absolutely zero substance behind him, with no action. He's all talk, he's no action. You've known that. We've all known that. So to say, oh, I feel sorry because he lost everything, come on, man, crocodile tears.
A lot of time to sit there and think about it. Yeah, Vaughn's whole world is that 2012 Ford Escape. And that poor dog. I keep saying...
All right, the dog. He was sitting there in a better place in Oklahoma than he is now in the high desert of Arizona. So that poor dog that would have been quite safe if they just sat there in Oklahoma where the police knew where he was, and waited for something to rescue them or someone to rescue them. If the weather got inclement, then everybody would have been happy. They wouldn't have been dying of thirst in the heat of the high desert, which is what you have made a lot easier for Vaughn to get to. The heat of the high desert. So I can't understand where does that, he was going to die feeling come from? You don't seem to me as a spiritual person at all, not in the least. So I don't understand what it's like. You're trying to hide something, or you're associated with Vaughn in some emotional way, but you don't want to show it. But you showed it. You gave the guy $500 cash.
And over and over, but that's the abuse, is that dog is crammed into that back seat area.
Exactly. The dog is crammed into the back seat area in a high desert right now because of you. See, if you hadn't given him the $500, Todd, he would have sat there until the weather chased him away, until, who knows, maybe the police would have checked up on him and had a second look, until something would have occurred that would not have sent him necessarily into the high desert in search of this cousin. I don't think what you did helped him one little bit, because he doesn't think ahead. You don't seem to think ahead either.
Not able to freely run about. Red Feather says you'll take $500. My pocket's burning. It's not that my pocket was burning. It's just that $500 is not a big deal to me.
Oh, really? Well, $500 is a big deal to everybody that's watching this live chat right now, right, guys? $500, a lot of money. And even if it wasn't a big deal, let's say, to Todd Malicoate, the fact that he gave it to Von Helton is a big deal to all of us, you and me. $500 to Von Helton? $500 is not a big deal to Todd Malicoate, so he gives it to Von Helton. He mentions all these other charities in a second that he gives to, or how do we know he doesn't give to? You know, that type of argument. Very weak. Listen to this.
That doesn't mean I can give $500 to everybody. I loathe that argument. Just like people have been putting comments on my videos. You could have given that money to homeless veterans.
Exactly. And even if you do give that money, donate to homeless veterans, you could have given that $500 to homeless veterans as well.
Could have given that money to a women's shelter.
And you could have given that money to a women's shelter. And even if you have given money to a women's shelter, you could have given that $500 to a women's shelter and not to Von Helton.
Blah, blah, blah. It's like, how do you know I didn't? How do you know I don't? How do you know how much money?
You see? Yeah, you can listen to this.
Money I give a year to charity. To the VFW.
Okay, to the VFW, whatever that is. You could have given the $500 to the VFW over and above what you already give to the VFW. And not to Von Helton.
John 3:16 mission.
John 3:16 mission. You could have given that $500 to the John 3:16 mission over and above what you gave already to the John 3:16 mission and not to Von Helton.
Here locally to St. John's, St. Jude's.
And St. Jude's. Hey, you donate to St. Jude's, do you, Todd Malicoate? Well, you could have given that $500 over and above what you already donate to St. Jude's instead of to Von Helton, Todd.
Children's Hospital. How do you know how much I give to them a year? You don't.
It doesn't matter. You gave $500 to Von Helton. Big mistake. Big question. Why? Nothing you've said so far has answered the question why.
So shut up. To those
shut
people,
up.
I mean.
Just shut up.
Complaining and nagging about, well, why wouldn't you should be giving money to worthy causes, not Vaughn. I can do both.
Really? You could donate to worthy causes, not Vaughn, to worthy causes, but you could also donate to Vaughn, which is that's the question. Why? Why are you donating to Vaughn? Because what you're going to say about him coming up is going to negate all the reasons that you would have given money to Von Helton. Listen, folks.
Don't listen to the dummies, yeah. Hermit says Vaughn thinks his kids will be running looking for him when they become adults. Yeah, that's not
Listen to
happen.
this. Listen to this.
We already know that. I will take you back, and I don't know if it's still on the internet, but I think it was a video of Vaughn's one of his last visits with the kids. And the look on the face of the oldest daughter when he was in there was just a look of loathing. I think she hates that man. Just my opinion. That's what I got from watching it. Oh, wow. Look how dark it got all of a sudden. Hopefully Vaughn's kids will see how insane he is and stay. Well, they experienced it firsthand. So they experienced it firsthand. I'm sure they've had plenty of therapy to deal with what happened in that house, in that trailer. But, not my place to comment on, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to have anything to do with him. That's going to be my answer. Never really followed Vaughn until the homeless art. Random Life's here. They will live better life than that turd. Yes, sir. You've seen past clips, yeah.
You see, and now he's totally trashing Von Helton for what he did to his kids and pointing out that his daughter, one of the girls, looked at him with absolute loathing and hatred in her eyes. And yet you give him $500, Todd Malicoate. Can anybody give me an answer? By the way, if you have a question for me, super chat me. Then you'll get my attention. This has got a few more seconds to run. Let's just run it.
There's one particularly, he went to visit the kids, supervised. And I'm telling you, if you looked into the eyes of that little girl, the oldest daughter, she hated that man on that particular day. It was easy to see. You don't have to be a a therapist or a psychologist to see the hatred in those eyes that particular day.
That particular day. Okay, so that's it. But he's just told us that his daughter hates him. Why? Von Helton is a child abuser. Von Helton, I don't know, I wasn't there, but why would a little girl hate her father with such intensity? And why would Todd Malicoate give this man $500? I would like Todd Malicoate to come online, and me and Todd and I will have a chat. I think we could have quite a decent chat, because does anybody, if anybody else can understand why Todd Malicoate gave Von Helton $500, then you come up into my chat and explain it to me, because it's beyond me. So the purpose of this episode was essentially to ask the questions of Todd Malicoate regarding his $500 cash handout to our erstwhile landless baron. I don't have anything else to cover right now, but my eyes are peeled. As usual, I just have a quick question for those who are still here. Do you prefer this type of format where I go live with commentary, or do you prefer the no Sydney Winston, no face, no voice, no nothing, just content? Tell me what you would like. I should have put that up there as a poll, but I'll just leave it the way it is. Oh, Charlie. Oh, we got Charlie Michaels. If anybody sees Charlie Michaels in the chat there, well, Charlie doesn't like me. Charlie's like one of these I'm a Christian and I'll stand up for Von Helton no matter what. You know, kind of sus. Very sus. Anyway, Charlie says, what does Charlie say? What has he? Is Charlie? Von Helton must be a wonderful human being if odious. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Andrea. Don't delete these things. These are funny. These are hilarious. Oh, I'm. Hold on a sec. Oh, Von Helton must be a wonderful human being if odious Sydney loathes him. Andrea, these are things you laugh at. That's okay. Listen, my channel, as much as I can get serious about certain things that nobody else watches, when it comes to Von Helton, and when it comes to the Christians and the Muslims and essentially when it comes to all the really orthodox religious folks, it's game on. There's no rules. Because if you notice, even specifically Von Helton, how he mentions how he uses the word atheists as if it's an insulting, derogatory term. You sort of, if you want to believe what the atheists say, you'll probably believe that the in the globe Earth. That's how horrible atheists are. They'll teach you things like that. Yeah, he's an idiot. But Todd, why the fuck did you give him $500? Anyway, also another thing I want to mention about Von Helton, he said that He'll be making fewer videos. Why? But no reason. He never gives a reason. Chris Curtis D of Montana. Hello. Are you Sydney Winston? Hello. Are you the person Vaughn called Scotland Yard on? Yes, I believe I am. I'm working together with Scotland Yard right now to investigate anything that Von Helton has done. Anywhere that Von Helton actually has been, and everyone he was acquainted with when he was in the UK. So that's ongoing. Any other genius questions? Ah, Joe's cat. You're very, very complimentary. Thank you. That's another thing. Okay, now that Von Helton is in Arizona with $500 of uh, Todd Malicote's money, how come he's not at his cousin? How big is that? Is Arizona like 3 times the size of Texas or something? That it takes 4 days to get from the southern border to the middle? Yeah, cousin in Arizona. Chris Curtis, yeah, I agree. He definitely deserves this karma. But then again, we don't know. With karma hasn't shown itself yet, because nothing has changed since June the 27th, when Von Helton appeared in New Jersey, living in his car. And today it's November the 2nd, and Von Helton is in Arizona, living in his car. So no difference, really. But this arc thing that Todd Malicoate was talking about, the Arizona arc, I had no idea what that even means. Oh, another question I have of you guys is, I've tried this many times, it's never worked, but a voice chat, like a hangout, like a chat room. Would you be amenable to that, or do you like to just watch and type in the side chat? That's one thing I wanted to ask you. Charlie, you'll have to speak to my agent. Tell you what, I'm gonna go check to see if anybody who's called Von Helton has uploaded anything new. Oh shit. Oh, I did the wrong thing. He has not. Not since he educated us about Atlas. All right. You guys are spoiling me. I'm gonna call it for this one, because I just wanted to go over that short video and my comments and my thoughts and my questions to Todd Malicoate. I still don't understand why he gave $500. I don't understand why Todd Malicoate is working in an auto zone when he's trained as a master musician. As you know, I just don't understand a lot of things. And I think a lot of things about Todd Malicoate that I don't understand, if I were to understand them, would explain the $500. But so far, nothing makes sense. Hopefully, Todd makes a video to explain himself, and leave me blushing and embarrassed by what I said. Hopefully. And I guess with that, we are done. Bye. Thank you for watching. Alrighty. I kind of feel like I missed something, to be honest with you. But maybe not.